Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to Finch's Flight. In the last episode, Finch discovered one very sneaky route into Leo's territory. It gave him direct access to some of his most loyal subjects too, so now he's making pretty good friends with Robin. Now Robin pointed him toward Delta last, which is their shopkeeper, so I'm hoping that we can become pretty good friends with him too. But today we have a different colony on the mind. We're actually going to take a trip back to the forest colony where all of Finch's family lives. He's kind of hoping that he could get some advice on love from his father. We are now in the red heart stage with Griffin after all, so Finch is very, very excited to get his paws on one of those shiny trinkets. He's also quite excited about this gardening endeavor. He found all of these raspberries that he would like to place inside the garden over here. That way he would have direct access to raspberries all season long. But I feel like he's probably not quite skilled enough for that yet. He should probably just stick to the golden seals. So this will be another thing that we can indulge in perhaps when Griffin does move in. We'll ask if he wouldn't mind just putting together a little raspberry bush for us as soon as he's inside our den. So we better butter him up with even more of these toads and frogs. And that reminds me too, we have to pick out some gifts for our friends in the forest. The bunnies, of course, are going to go straight to Scout. We have a couple more by Claudius's den, so we'll grab those before we leave. The catnip is going to go to the forest so we can increase our reputation with them too. And I know that Mare absolutely loves fish, so I decided to catch a couple of these. We could offer those up to him when we get there. We'll give Doc some of our golden seals so we can replenish his supplies. But as for Ember, do you think maybe we could pick up some of our licorice roots for him? That was one thing that he loved to share with Finch when Finch was very young. These two bonded over their love of licorice roots together, so I feel like it would be very fitting if we offered some of these to just relive those old days. Oh, and of course we can't forget about Missy. She's going to have those raspberries for sure. She loves berries just as much as Finch. Missy was actually his babysitter when he was really young, so they probably bonded quite a bit over those berry juices too. Now hello Galen, maybe he has some things that we could take to the forest? Nope, it looks like there's no gifts today, but he does have a pretty promising message. The cats of the far north rarely have friends that are as close as you and I are. It is a great sadness. I did not know it when I lived here, but now I see what I was missing. Yeah, Finch has quite a few friends inside his colony. That's what makes the feather colony so great. Oh, and I wonder if we could bring some of these mice? Mango, would you mind if we maybe grabbed a couple of these? I'm pretty sure that Sarge loves mice, so he would be pretty happy if we could offer up some of those to him. Oh, I had something to tell you, but then I forgot. Poor Mango. Was it maybe anything to do about your lavender garden? We actually have a couple little bits of lavender that we could give to you. So let's leave these here for now. I don't think we're going to need to use them. I haven't checked the battle situation. Okay, it looks like we do have a couple of battles leading straight into the forest, so we'll have to stop by and just make sure it's not the mountain cats. I'm sure this right here is probably the Mystic Colony. And in fact, they are getting dangerously close to the Highlands. That is something that I don't really like to see. Maybe we're going to have a stern conversation with Alyssa soon. Figure out what that little kitty is up to. Now Griffin, we probably won't see you for the rest of the day, so here's your lovely toad breakfast. And a cardinal from you? Oh my gosh, Griffin, that is far, far too kind. We are definitely going to sell this straight off to Starling, I think. We'll see if we can gather up some extra mews. He doesn't know it, but that's all going toward his shiny trinket fund. 48 mews from one cardinal. Oh my gosh, that never gets old. So now we nearly have 300 mews. Actually, how much does a shiny trinket cost? I can't quite remember. It's been a long, long time since we last purchased one of these things. Yes, I had a feeling we had enough though. Only 200 mews for a shiny trinket. Should we perhaps grab one of these from Starling's shop then? We're not going to give it to Griffin right now, but it would probably be a nice thing for us to tuck in the back of our den. That way we'll know that it's definitely on Finch's mind. We might as well bring it with us to the forest colony too. Maybe Finch could start that conversation with his dad by showing him the shiny trinket itself. He would definitely know what that means. There's something special about a regular customer. You really feel like you get to know each other. would hope so, Starling. We have known each other for a very, very long time after all. Here's a lovely dove for you. You know, we're only missing 1 star with Starling. I think we're missing 1 star with Slate as well, right? Yeah, she only has 4 stars too. There's no replacement for a good friend. That's why I hope you'll continue to visit me every day. Of course we will, Slate. It's tradition now after all. We might as well give her this black hair too. And that's her 5th star. Oh my gosh, excellent, Slate. So now Starling is literally the only cat in the entire colony who does not have that last star with Finch. That's kind of funny how that worked out since they are brothers and all. Finch, I consider you a close friend, and I'm glad that our great colony's leader is so down-to-earth and approachable. Well, way to boost our confidence. I'll bet Finch isn't afraid to go into the forest now. It's been so long since he's seen his family, I'm sure there's probably a tiny part of him that's a little bit apprehensive. But now he has no fear. He knows that his family is going to welcome him with open arms once more. We'd best go ahead and snack on something because I don't think he's going to last the journey there. Unfortunately, we don't really have anything extra though. I guess we could probably munch on one of these mice. Of all of the things in our inventory, that's probably the most likely thing that we'll run into in the forest. Though granted, the rabbits are also pretty plentiful up here in the highlands. And it looks like the lavender has grown back too. Excellent! I wonder if there's any more around here? We definitely want to make sure that we bring these back to Mango. We've really done a number on her supplies. Now hopefully we can catch this mouse to replace the one that we lost, and then it's straight over to the forest next. In fact, let's go ahead and munch on the extra rabbit too, and then we'll take one of our valerian plants. Not only will that open up a little bit of extra space in our inventory, but it should make Finch move around much faster. It's always kind of sad though because it's so hard for Ruby to keep up. Ooh, but we can't bypass the frogs. That is the one thing that Finch is not going to let sneak away from its grasp. So we have 1 battle right below us, but I think this is probably going to be, yeah, the Mystic Colony. I'm just not sure why they've decided to push into our territory. That is a little bit worrying. I thought that we were on pretty good terms with Alyssa, but now I'm starting to wonder if that might not be the case. So you keep guard over here, okay, Cindy? Let us know if you see any suspicious cats roaming about. Now the second battle was kind of in between the territories, so I suppose that could go either way. It's either going to be Leo trying to cut us off from the sacred temple, just like we did to him. Yes, and it looks like that's exactly who it is. Alright, maybe we should use our lion's roar. There are quite a few guards over here after all. Though we have quite a few guards on our side too. It looks like there's only 2 cats remaining. Rat down here might be the last one. Yes, excellent. So they came down pretty far. Yeah, I'll bet Leo was trying to cut us off from the sacred temple, since we've been doing the same to him. We managed to successfully take over the central lake, just like we did for the Blossom Lake too. So it's no surprise that he's trying to turn our own attack back on us. Leo is one sneaky cat. Now hopefully 1 more Valerian will be enough to take us straight over to the forest colony this time. We'll keep our eyes open for any extra herbs along the way, but otherwise, Finch, I think you're going to have to skip hunting any extra prey this time. It's already getting pretty late after all, and if you're not careful, you're going to end up missing your father. He does like to go to bed pretty early. It's probably from all of the hunting that he does. He's one of the main hunters for the forest colony. Aside from Penny, of course. She might have a bit of a leg up on him from her very extensive training. But here we are. Home sweet home, Finch. Oh, this must be so bittersweet. He hasn't been here in such a long time. Oh my gosh, and Lyris! Oh my gosh, I forgot that we have to get some gifts for Lyris. Oh, thank goodness we have some valerian and some of these marigolds in our inventory. Oh, Lyris, you would have been so disappointed if we didn't have any gifts for you. But we know that he absolutely adores flowers. Flowers of any sort seem to really make his day. And for that matter, I think he was also a pretty big fan of the butterflies. Since it is the summertime, we could probably just swipe a few from the air. That would probably really make his day too. But since I don't see any fluttering around right now... Oh, wait a second, there's one down there. Well, we already waved this marigold in your face, we might as well give it to you. Ah, how beautiful. This is a lovely gift. I truly appreciate this sign of friendship, Finch. Yeah, I think he'd probably like that a little bit more. First they crawl, then they run, over the white-blue ground, speeding on, they reach their goal on distant shores that take their toll. I wrote that poem while peering across the lake to the northwest. You should visit it sometime and sit on its shores while you think. Oh, Lyris, you know, he would be a pretty good cat for us to go to for romance advice. I wonder if maybe that was a little hint that Finch should seek out those quiet places to really contemplate what he's going to do with the shiny trinket. Yeah, I feel like Lyris is probably the most romantic cat in this entire place. But still, we have to come by and say hello to our father. Maybe he'll have some good advice too. I see lots of cats doing things so that they'll be accepted or appreciated by others, but that's not my style. I'm not in it for anybody's approval but my own. Oh, that's an interesting spin on it. Here we are looking for advice on how to impress Griffin, but Scout is kind of trying to just tell his son to just be himself. Griffin would probably appreciate that more. Well, we have plenty of bunnies to offer up as a thank you for that wonderful advice, Scout, so here you go, little guy. You remember the days where we used to have to give Scout 3 bunnies every single day? Pretty soon we're going to have to do the same for Griffin too. 3 frogs every single day in the 10 for Griffin to ensure a nice healthy family for them both. Now next on the list is Missy, and we have a couple of little raspberries for you. I wonder if she already has a nice big stash inside her den though. I feel like she probably goes out quite often. Why do we have another raspberry up there? Oh my gosh, did I steal yours, Missy? Oh, we better put that back before she notices. I think I may have accidentally picked up the one that she had right next to her den. Yeah, let's just plop this over here. We don't want her to think that we're trying to steal her food after all. I don't think Missy would be too happy. What, is there something on my face? I thought I was being pretty obvious that I didn't want to talk. Oh, sorry, Missy. Okay. She must be feeling a little bit grumpy today. That's not really out of the ordinary though. Sometimes Missy can be pretty hard to talk to. Kind of makes me wonder if maybe something might have happened. We'll have to talk to some of the other cats around here to see if they know anything more. But you know, maybe we should actually share one of these licorice roots with Ember. I'm sure he wouldn't mind. He's still getting the lion's share after all. We have 2 lovely licorice roots to offer up to you, and then we'll talk to you too to see if you know anything about this Missy situation. I can't imagine that Ember would be too friendly with Missy though, so whatever he knows would probably just be rumors. They just seem so different. I mean, Ember is a pretty friendly, laid-back cat, just like Finch is. You are not from around here, are you? What's it like living in your colony, Finch? I'll bet there are all sorts of interesting stories you could share. Of course, Ember, and we'd always love to sit down and chat with you. But we have a couple of other cats to give gifts to first. Yeah, he seems like the polar opposite of Missy to me, so I can't imagine that they would get along too well. But Mare, it's been an awfully long time since we've said hello to you, and we have some nice fish to give you from the highlands themselves. I know that you have some rivers and streams in your territory, but these are very special fish. I always figured that Mare would probably have a soft spot for Finch too. They both do very much love ladybugs after all. Looks like Mare still has quite a few little ladybug pets just fluttering around his den. I told Sarge to let you visit our colony because I see a great amount of potential in you. Few cats are awarded this privilege. Well, thank you very much, Mare. It's good to know that we're still trusted around here. And speaking of Sarge, I do want to say hello to him next, but first, oh, we have to get this red firefly for Griffin. A cat's gotta have his priorities. Fireflies first, then we go to Sarge and give him the catnip for the colony. Finally, Sarge, this was kind of what we came here to do in the first place. Give you the catnip, so we should have a nice good reputation with the forest again. 80%. So that gives us quite a bit of wiggle room to work with too. I don't know, do you think we should give them the other one as well? Just in case it takes us an extra long time to get back down here, that way we'll know that we're always safe roaming in their borders. So that brings us up to 85%. That's 10% more than what we even needed. Oh no, but we missed Doc. Oh, that is so sad. Doc is another one of the friendliest cats here too. You know, I think we're going to leave a couple of these little golden seals right next to his den. That way we'll at least know that we're doing our part. Helping their doctors replenish their supplies, 3 golden seals, and next time we come visit, we'll give him those golden seals officially. Oh, good thing Sarge is still out too, because we also didn't give him his mice. We just have these laying around our inventory right now, so maybe you could do us a favor and take them off of our paws. I think we'll go ahead and munch on one of them, just because Finch is so hungry right now. And in fact, I wonder if he could do a little bit of extra hunting. I'm pretty sure that one of you said that the fairywood is actually a pretty good place to go to when we're looking for frogs. And I do vaguely remember running into quite a few of them. Okay, good night, Sarge. I guess he's okay with that idea then, since he is their guard and all. He heard us talking about it, and he definitely seems to approve. So as long as none of their cats come out to patrol, we should be able to not only catch plenty of these doves for Starling, and plenty of doves for the Mews as well. But I'm hoping that we'll find a couple of frogs to bring back to the den, so we'll have a nice steady supply for the future. It is no easy task keeping that many of our cats' favorite meals on hand after all. It's good to see that the doves are still out and about, so Penny hasn't scooped up every last one of these. This was honestly her favorite place to hunt back in the day. It's one of the best places to get birds. Oh no, and Goof. Goof is out and about. That is not a good sign. How much do you want to bet Goof is going to scare away all of our potential meals? We're going to find a frog up there, and Goof is just going to scare it straight off the screen. But to be honest, sometimes we can have just as much trouble hunting inside our own territory too. It just depends what sort of cats are out and about that day. So there we go, we found another frog for Griffin. I think we're probably going to have to break into the doves though, so we won't be able to give those to Starling. If we could just find one more maybe? One more to even it out? There we go, Finch. Creep up on the dove and pounce. No! Oh, your mother would be so disappointed in you, Finch. Maybe it's because he's feeling a little bit tired. I mean, it is literally like 2:30 in the morning. Maybe it's time for us to think about heading home. Though I am rather curious if you could find some more berries out here before we go. There's some more catnip down here at least, so we can replace the couple that we gave to the forest colony. But look how many cats they're sending out patrolling right now, just stomping around and scaring away all the prey. That is so disappointing. Penny's gotta make sure that her roaming guards are a little bit stealthier than that. There's no way that they're going to be prepared for the winter if this is how they're getting around. But now the day has officially changed. It's morning once more, the music is fluttering through the air, and I think Finch has had plenty of time to think about all of his father's advice. So as we go ahead and munch on a couple of these squirrels perhaps, since I don't think we need to save those for gifts for anybody, yeah, that would probably be the safest thing for us to indulge in right now. Let's go ahead and see where the battles are today. We have another battle down here right next to the sacred temple, but this one is a little bit more worrying. Looks like Leo is back on the hunt again, back on the prowl for Finch, the Highland King. So let's go ahead and return back home. We'll warp all the way back to the Highlands and then rush out to the battle. One more skirmish before we let Finch settle in. Before he goes, we'll have him tuck his shiny trinket into the back of his den. He doesn't want to lose track of this thing after all, and just in case things go south, he doesn't want to risk accidentally losing it out on the battlefield. That would be terrible. Can you imagine losing your wedding ring in the midst of war? There is no way that he'd be able to find it again. The only problem is, it's so early that Claudius isn't even awake yet. Imagine his surprise when he stumbles out from his castle gates and he discovers that Finch has already taken care of one of the battles today. Well, it's going to make his job a little bit easier, I suppose. Let's see if we can hopefully chase these cats away. All of our skills are at the ready, Finch, so even if we don't have too many cats to help us, I think you should probably be okay. It looks like everybody is right up at the top of the screen this time again, too. It's always really hard to see what's going on when they're fighting up there. I'm not even sure if we're going to be able to pick up all of our Mews. Hopefully we manage to grab all of them because we desperately need those. Well, that wasn't too bad. All of our cats were ready and raring to go too. You guys must be the early birds of the colony. I'm trying to focus right now if you don't mind. Sorry, Greenie. She must be out here hunting for the colony too. The early bird gets the worm after all. So with all of that done, let's have Finch stumble his way back home so we can curl up for a little light nap. With all the traveling that he had to do the other day, I feel like he definitely deserves it. Finch deserves a good long rest. Not to mention, Finch still has some pretty big decisions to make. He received some really great advice from his family and his old friends, but now he has to put it all together in a way that will truly make Griffin happy. So what do you guys think would be the best way for Finch to propose to Griffin? How do you think our little Highland King would go about doing that? I'm sure it would have something to do with a nice romantic froggy dinner, of course. Maybe we could even put some of those glow potions to use and dress Finch up for the occasion, too. And speaking of which, I almost forgot. Not too long ago, the developers actually put together a new live stream to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of Cattails, and inside they gave us a new promo code for a special coat. I believe if we type in Purple Shadow, that should unlock us the brand new fur, the dark purple fur color. Oh my gosh, how gorgeous does that look? That would actually go perfect in the wintertime, perhaps. Maybe we could give that to Starling when the winter rolls around. That would probably look great against the snowy background of the Highlands. So that's one thing checked off of Finch's to-do list, but there's still a lot of things in store for our little Highland King. So for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!